Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this webinar, the latest in a series of webinars that the Client Success team are running. These webinars aim to improve the way small law firms implement the focus of cloud. My name is Bryony McDonald and I'm one of the Client Success Managers for LEAP clients in New South Wales. And joining me today, I have Jennifer Nguyen, who is also one of our Client Success Managers for LEAP clients in New South Wales. In today's webinar, we will be showing you how you are able to create a matter in LEAP using only a title reference and the eCOS ID. As with all our educational webinars, this webinar will run for approximately 30 minutes and will be conducted in listen-only mode. Detailed notes about all that we are discussing today, can be found on the LEAP community under the InfoTrack menu. And you can access this information at any time via the blue question mark in the top right corner of all LEAP windows. Please type any questions into the Go To Webinar question feature throughout today's webinar. Although we may not be able to respond to your question while we are presenting, we will collate all the questions into an FAQ document, which will be sent out to you with a recording of this webinar. This recording will be made available to you in the coming days, so if you miss anything, you can always go back and rewatch the presentation in your own time. Today we're going to be looking at an exciting innovation to LEAP that allows you to quickly and accurately open a new matter in LEAP using an eCOS ID by InfoTrack. The eCOS ID allows you to create a matter in LEAP based on the information that has been entered by the vendor solicitor when creating the electronic contract via InfoTrack. We all know that conveyancers and solicitors are both time poor and sensitive to cost, and this time-saving feature ensures that you no longer have to rekey information from the vendor's contract for sale. Not only will this save you time, but it will also eliminate errors when rekeying information. This feature is only available to LEAP clients, giving you an extra edge over many of your competitors. This feature is reliant on the vendor's solicitor creating the front page of the contract via InfoTrack. So look out for the eCOS ID on your contracts and then you're ready to use this new feature. There is a 2-point verification when creating your matters via the eCOS ID, meaning that there's no chance of accidentally entering the wrong eCOS ID. If you don't get both pieces of information correct, your matter will not be able to be created in LEAP. So once you've entered these two key pieces of information, you can review and edit data prior to creating the matter in LEAP. So even if the vendor solicitor does make an error, you're able to correct this from your end before the data is entered into LEAP. I'm now going to pass over to Jennifer, who will now take us through an actual demonstration.
Thanks, Bryony. Within LEAP, we click on the drop-down arrow on the right side of the New Matter button, then select Create Matter via InfoTrack. Next, we simply enter the eCOS ID. Again, that's found at the middle of the front page, and the title reference. Then we can click on Lookup. If any of the property information is incorrect or you want to add anything, click once on the Edit link on the right. Once you've updated the property, click on the Collapse link. Work through the vendor's details, ensuring that they are correct. If you need to add any additional people, click on the Add New link. If any of the parties exist in LEAP already, you will notice much of the information will be grayed out. LEAP assumes that you will want to use the existing LEAP card, but you do have the option to untick this. We suggest you keep this option ticked if the agent does exist to avoid duplication of cards. You can repeat this same process for the vendor's solicitor. If the purchase price has changed since the contract was created, click on Edit here to the right, then make the necessary changes. Once your details are correct, click on Create Matter in the bottom right of your screen and your matter will be created. So you can see here that from just entering the eCOS ID and title reference, we have been able to quickly create a matter in Leap. You would then click on Save and Close in the matter to generate the next matter number in your list. Another new feature that we are happy to be able to share with you is the ability to change your matter list view. Let's go back into Leap and into our matter list. If we click on the 3-bar option menu, sometimes referred to as the hamburger, you'll see a couple of options that will change the matter list view. Firstly, we have the option to show the client's full name in description. You'll see straight away that you can now see the client's full name in our matter list. If we go back to our options menu, we can also amend this view to show the description in a single line. And while this is not new, it's worth noting that you can also choose to hide or show the state that the matter is based in from this menu. I would now like to introduce you to Tara Bernays, who is one of the client relationship managers from InfoTrack, who will answer some questions that have come in during today's webinar.
Thanks, Jennifer and Bridie, for having me here today. As Jennifer mentioned, I'm one of the client relationship managers over at InfoTrack, so I'm helping out today just with some of these questions that have come through throughout the webinar. So we'll kick off. There seems to be a few coming through, so let's get started. We did have a question from Martin asking with regards to the cost of using the eCOS ID feature in order to create your matters in Leap, and I'm very happy to say that there is no cost associated with utilising the eCOS ID feature. Really is just a project that we've worked on in conjunction with Leap to save a lot of our mutual clients a lot of time, so no cost associated with that one. Got a couple of questions with regards to using sequential matter numbers in Leap. So when the eCOS ID creates a new matter number, it will pick up your style of matter number creation that you have set up within your Leap practice management system. So whatever style you are using to auto-generate those matter numbers, it will create in that same way. Got a question here from Peter asking, are there eCOS IDs for Queensland contracts, or is this function only available for New South Wales matters at the moment? Very correct in saying it is only for New South Wales matters at the moment. So it is on those pages 1 and 2 of New South Wales contracts ordered through InfoTrack. At this stage, we are starting to look into expanding the eCOS ID into the Victorian contracts as well, which are also available through the InfoTrack system. And no doubt, I'm sure our team is looking at Queensland a little further down the track. I understand it's a little bit of a different process in the Queensland conveyancing space, but it's definitely on our radar to see if we can help our Queensland clients save a little bit of time as well. Okay, we've got a question from Christy. She said she's got a contract there with her today, but it doesn't have an eCOS ID on the front of the contract. So the reason for this one is the front 2 pages have to have been created via InfoTrack. So when you do order a contract with InfoTrack, the front 2 pages are provided to you at no cost, and those are the front 2 pages that do include the eCOS ID. So if you are using any precedents based elsewhere or any other versions of the contract, unfortunately they won't include that eCOS ID. So when you're receiving contracts through from vendors' representatives, be mindful that it will only be on those contracts that are created by InfoTrack. Fortunately, though, there are thousands and thousands created through the InfoTrack system every week, so chances are you will see one come across your desk at some time very soon. Another question here, so everyone's excited by the feature and looking at what else it might do. So question with regards to whether this is available for any other searches or different versions other than the contract. Short answer at this stage is no. However, we are in the process of looking into if we can utilise a unique identifier like the eCOS ID on other searches, such as title searches even. So at the very least, to be able to allow you to pre-populate that information directly from the InfoTrack title search that you order directly into creating that leap matter. So that's something that's currently being looked into by our product and development team. So hopefully at some stage in the future we'll have a bit more of an update there for you. Alrighty, I think we've reached the end of most of the questions. There are quite a few there, so I apologise if I missed any. Bryony and Jennifer will get back to you if I have overlooked any, so apologies if I have, but thank you so much for sending all the questions through.
Cool, so thanks Tara, and thank you all for your questions today. We hope we've been able to answer most of them, and like Tara said, we will get back to those who we weren't able to get to. So just a quick reminder that the best ways to contact the LEAP Help Desk is by emailing support@leap.com.au or via the support section of the LEAP community. Via the LEAP community, you're also able to access our live chat. So our live chat consultants are best equipped to answer all your product-related questions. If you're stuck at any time, please feel free to email the Client Success team at clientsuccess@leap.com.au. Again, this webinar will be posted to the LEAP community before the end of the week and will be accessible via the webinars drop-down menu also via the LEAP community. Thanks again everyone for joining us today, and have a great afternoon.